Renegades, Scapers, welcome to Mini Monday. I realized that I need to talk to the camera up there, but my mic is over here because I'm usually pointed this way. I had to come up with another solution for that. Here, I'll just hold on to it. Hey everybody, welcome to Mini Monday. This week we are going to be painting Queen Qhyrion. At least that's how I think that the name is pronounced. Qhyrion? Not Kerrigan, Qhyrion. I think. That makes the most sense to me anyway. Welcome into the chat for those of you that are joining us. We're just getting started here with Queen Qhyrion. She's from the Qhyri Warrior box. And I'm really excited to paint this one. So I don't have very many Heroscape figures left unpainted. I have been going all in on this game, guys. All in. This is just... I feel elevated in my gaming lately. It's been a really long time since I've genuinely been excited about a game. And I realized that because of how genuinely excited I am for Heroscape. I've been playing a lot. I've been going to tournaments. I've met a bunch of locals, and they're all super nice. Just super excited about Heroscape. I've been doing repaints of old miniatures. I've been buying a lot of figures. For example, I did this repaint here of Q9. So this is not a 3D print. This is the original miniature, just painted over, basically. And then, I did up the base or whatever. And then, I got, who's this? Is this Brunac? I think this is Brunac. So I got this in a trade with a guy from my locals, and but it didn't have a base. So all it had was the pegs. So I snipped the pegs, filed that down, and then I had a base 3D printed, and then I basically did this. So I just have to glue him, boom, on top there. And then this guy, I know he's one of those Tool Knock Ram Boo. I can't remember his name exactly. But he also didn't have a base. So I put a base on him, and then I'm still mid basing. I got some basing stuff here, but we're not here for old stuff. We're here for new stuff. So let's get started with Queen Qhyrion. So one thing to note before we even get started is my miniature in transit or whatever was damaged. So if you look closely at the face, you can see that basically most of the face is scraped off. So when looking at the miniature, I thought about it, and I'm going to try. I don't know how well it's going to work, but I'm going to try and treat that part of the face like maybe she was badly burnt. So I'm going to paint this side of the face normal, and then that side of the face I'm going to try and paint like it's scarred or deformed in some way. Other than that, I'll probably be following the box art. I'm definitely going to do the wings black. As a matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and start that process now. Where is it? Right here. So I'm going to use contrast paint for the wings. So I'm going to use Black Templar here. We're going to paint this all up. For prep work, I washed the miniature with warm, lightly soapy water and a toothbrush. I do that for all plastic and resin minis. Sometimes metal minis, but mostly just plastic and resin. Specifically, single mold soft plastic miniatures like this. And like I said, resin miniatures as well. The reason that I do that is because a lot of companies and manufacturers, They will use a releasing agent so that when a miniature comes out of a mold, it doesn't stick, and that releasing agent can impact your paint job, or at least the way that the primer sticks. So I always do that, let it dry. And then this particular mini, it looks like I did a zenithal highlight. So I painted it with black and then hit it from the top with white primer. As you can see here, some of that. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get started while I, continue talking. I'm in a real talkative mood, so I guess that should make for good TV, right? Yeah, sure. All right. Black Templar contrast paint. Here we go. Top right there of your screen, that is my my Instagram handle. I'm going to be. I haven't been very good about it the last couple of weeks, but I have been posting all of my paint jobs over there. And lately, it's been pretty much all Heroscape. Actually, not pretty much, like it has been all Heroscape. Yeah, and that's my wet palette too up there. So, all right. So these wings, I don't want to get the hair because I think her hair is white. Yeah, it's like a gray. All right, so I'm gonna try and do this. I'm not super worried about getting the contrast paint on some of the stuff because I'm gonna probably go over it anyway. The reason that I'm using contrast paint for this instead of just painting them black is because I think that this contrast paint will sit real well in the recesses of these wings. In hindsight, I probably should have used speed paints instead of contrast paints. In contrast, or what did I say? In contrast, in hindsight, I probably should have used speed paints, but that's all right. I'm gonna use contrast paints instead. I've been having a lot of fun with speed paints. I also 3D printed, or a buddy of mine 3D printed a dwarf army for me, and I painted them up in a day, like a whole. I think it's a 16. Is it 16 or is it 12? There's 4, so 16. 16. So 4 units basically. And I got 4 units of dwarfs painted in a day with 100% speed paints, and they look great. I mean, they look better than the originals, in my opinion. I was going to use gray instead of black, but I'm glad that I went with the black. It looks good so far. So yeah, the only thing right now that I currently have unpainted from AOA stuff is just the remaining 3 Qhyri from this box. Because Roguescaper painted one of them, and I painted that as well, like on my own, while he was painting on stream. And then this one. So I still have the other 3 unpainted. So definitely need wave 3 ASAP. February cannot come soon enough. trying to go over the spots that the contrast isn't settling. That does happen sometimes. This paint or this primer job seems to be struggling with the contrast paint. And I'm just coming straight out of the pot onto the miniature. I'm not thinning this down. It's not on my palette or anything like that. You could, but I'm okay with the colors being dark. I should do the other Kyrie that has the black wings at the exact same time, just since, because I would probably use the same technique with those. I don't have all those Kyries memorized, just because I haven't as much Heroscape as I've been playing lately. I haven't been able to check out those check out the Kyrie yet. My buddy really likes the, I think it's, is it these two that work together? It might be these two. There's two that kind of work together. I should have brought the cards next to me. So I actually... Sorry, I forgot to put water in my pot here. I always keep fresh distilled water. Oh, fail. I spilled it. That's not good. Yeah, so I actually played in a tournament on Saturday. One of our local tournaments. It was this cool draft format where each player brought 3 pods, basically like 3 mini armies. And then when you sat down at the table with your opponent, you both put your 3 armies down. And then you do this kind of like flowed, this, I don't know how to even describe it. I mean, I do know how to describe it. I'm just trying not to spill water. Okay, we're in business. Yeah, so everybody brought 260 Delta points, or 3 260 Delta point armies, and custom units were allowed. And then when you sat at the table, you do a roll off. The winner of the roll off is player A. Player B then gets to, if they want to, eliminate one of the 6 armies that's on the table. And then player A picks from the 5. And then player B picks from the remaining 4. Or 3, I guess. Anyway, you get the idea. Each player gets the opportunity to ban something so that it can't be used. It was a cool format. Unfortunately, I couldn't stay for the whole event. But it was great. So it looks like some of the armor might be the same color Maybe I'll use Mechanicus for that. Yeah. So her pants down to her boots minus this piece of whatever that is, this armor piece. And then it looks like, so it looks like it's whatever her undersuit is. So probably the arms and the legs. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to grab Mechanicus Standard Gray. It's like a, I find it to be like a bluish kind of gray. Maybe I should use a bluish gray. Hold on. Maybe I'll use... Maybe I'll use some Dark Reaper. Let's use some Dark Reaper. That sounds fun. Dark Reaper is definitely more on the blue side than Mechanicus. Let's see, what size brush do I want? Let's go with this one. All right. It almost looks like this this skirt thing, or this comma is probably more accurate description of it. It almost looks like the comma is made out of metal in the reference pictures. I don't know if we're going to go that route. I wonder what a good complementary color would be for this. So yeah, the first game that I played, like I said, I played 2 games. Oh, let me tell you about the armies that I took. So I took one army was bears, Knight Irene, and Eldgrim, the Viking. And then my second pod was Mimring, a squad of Greenscales, and Isamu? Does that sound right? Is that Isamu? Is that the... or Ismu? It's like the little ninja guy. And then my last pick was based on... so the event was like a fire and ice. So there was a lot of maps with either... well, all the maps either had snow, lava, or both, you know? So I decided to take Molten Claw, the Obsidian... is that what they called it? Like the Obsidian, like rock guys, the volcano dudes. I can't remember. Obsidian guards, maybe. And Marku. So yeah, so those were the 3 that I brought to the table. So game one, I played against the guy who brought. Um, he had brought bears. He had brought pirates, and he had also brought um, like the little Matrix guys. Um, the guys that are really good at shooting and playing keep away. I can't remember their name. The Krav, I think, maybe. So I ended up drafting. We ended up just drafting our own stuff because I think both of us just wanted to play the stuff that we had brought, because it just was working out that way. So I ended up drafting. What did I draft? I draft Bears with Night Irene and Eldgrim, and I drafted the Molten Claw. The Molten Claw little army there. Molten Claw did work. He put in some really serious damage. But my opponent was able to take out my bears pretty quickly, and I was not able to take his out nearly as fast. So he kind of got that, bonding advantage over me since I didn't have the green scales in that list. I kind of didn't have any bonding once my bears kind of went down, and I lost a lot of momentum. But I still hung in there. Marku is a beast. That little guy is a beast. And my only complaint is I didn't realize until I was actually at the event that the Obsidian guards, or whatever they are, they can only lava throw if you're on molten lava, which I think is really stupid. I think it should be all lava. Oh, the audio's too low? I can turn it up. I could also just bring the microphone closer to my face. That might help. Hopefully that's better. Oh, I should turn my little light on, huh? There we go. Let me know if that's better. I used to have a mic arm, or like a boom arm, to get so that I could get the microphone right in my face. But I ended up putting my camera on it, so my camera, my face down camera, is actually attached to my boom arm, and then the microphone is on the table. So sometimes it's hard for me to remember that it's not like, it's not in my face unless I put it in my face. So what was I talking about before? Yeah, I think you should be able to lava throw with them no matter what kind of lava you're on. You know what I mean? Like, needing to be on molten lava just feels way too situational. I mean, as it is. So basically, the moral of the story, I think, is that my downfall in game one was, well, actually, my downfall was just putting them into the list at all, because it, they didn't really do much, basically. All right. I'm thinking. One thing that I find really helpful because I'm kind of weird with colors. I have this little. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. I have this little color wheel that I just keep next to me. And this is actually in a magazine from Army Painter. And it helps me like figure out like complementary stuff. So like we're here in this area, so I'm thinking maybe I mean I could go turquoise, I guess, or start going in the green direction. I could also go in the purple direction. What do you think? Green or purple? I'm thinking purple. Let's see what purples we have. Is this too late? That's too late. Too pink. Purples. Well, that's nice. Let's try this out. This is Pro Acryl Purple. I have to decide what color. I mean, I think I'm going to do blue for the skin. I just have to decide what blue I want to use. Is the audio any better? No one has told me otherwise, so I assume this is better. All right. Let's go purple. Purple, purple. Too much on my palette there. There's my brush. This is way lighter than I thought it was going to be. I don't think I like it very much, to be honest. It needs to be darker than that. Oh, yeah. That looks like, that almost looks pink to me. It definitely looks pink on the camera. All right, let's gab. Yeah, this brush sucks. I think that's one of my old ones. Alright, I'm gonna go with this darker Nagarath Knight. I was thinking this would be too dark, but the other one is too light. Yeah, it's better. I might have some other colors that are good, but probably should have. Had I realized that I was going to use purple when I started doing this, I probably would have just used a purple contrast paint instead of doing this way. Definitely gonna need to do some type of wash, or this is not gonna look. I mean, that part that I just did isn't gonna look super good. I mean, I was probably gonna have to do that anyway, but just saying. Yeah, so going back to my story. Um, so yeah, I ended up losing that game. We did go to time. You know, had we had longer, I might have been able to make a little bit of a comeback, but I was really down on points, so he got the win. Very well deserved victory. Because early on, I mean, Molten Claw did some really big damage to his army. Um, you know what I mean? So, and then let's see, game two. So game two, my opponent brought the green dragon Cheros. Is that what his? I think his name is Cheros. Um, with some cowboy guy, the Deadshot. I think his name's Deadshot. That was one list. Then he brought the vampires, which was another list, and he brought Brunak with the Deathwalker 8,000 maybe, or 7,000. I get them all confused. The one that self destructs. With the Utgar banner carrier. So the premise behind that particular list was you have Brunak. So you put your first order marker on the flag bearer guy, and the flag bearer lets you, instead of activating him, you can activate 2 units that follow Utgar instead of activating him. So the idea is you activate Brunak. He has an ability that lets you carry, so you can pick up a miniature next to you and carry him and then drop him off. So essentially that's what you do. You use Brunak to get the self-destruct guy as close to the enemy as possible, and then he can just run up and blow up, self-destruct, and hopefully do a lot of damage. Because if you roll I think it's if you roll a 20 on the D20 roll, I think it's something like it's either 6 or 8 damage to everything around. It's literally like, it's just absolutely insane, like that little combo. It's a lot of fun. Tony's like, hey, winged with a spear. Very cool mini. She is a very cool mini. Roguescaper. Just swinging by to support the goat. Definitely not the goat, but appreciate you, man. Yeah, this is a cool model. I don't know if I like the purple yet or not. I don't know if that's going to stick, but... I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet. We'll see. We will see. I'll grab some more of this Dark Reaper here. Throw it on the... palette. It's not a base paint. It's a layer, so it's gonna be you're gonna need more than one coat probably. But I also am not super worried about it being perfect. Because we're going to go over a bunch of stuff anyway. All right, let's grab some silver. I have 2 choices here. I could either speed paint silver or I could silver. Let's see. You know what? Let's speed paint silver. All right, so we're going to use broadsword silver. This is a speed paint. It's a 2.0 speed paint. If you've not used speed paints before, I'm pretty new to speed paints. I am starting to like them a little more than contrast paints. The problem that I don't like with them, though, is that they have a very strong chemically odor. So... Okay. Alright, I'm going to put some of this speed paint on my palette. Let me get a smaller brush. I'm going to paint that inner part of that plate probably like a brass, or not a brass, but like a bronze or a gold. What's cool about the metallic speed paints is you don't necessarily have to like worry about I guess, having like a clean slate to paint it on. You know what I mean? Like it paints just fine over certain color, like most colors. Yeah. So game two, I decided that I wanted to try and draft all stuff that I didn't bring. Basically, try and draft everything my opponent brought, because I really just wanted to try new units that I didn't own, because he brought a bunch of stuff I had never even seen before, um, including vampires. So I ended up drafting the vampires, and they are so much fun. So much fun, in fact, that I messaged my buddy and I was like, hey, can you print some vampires for me? So hopefully getting some vampires of my own soon. After I'm done with my dwarven army, I want to have every dwarf in the game, like official and custom. So uh, I just like dwarves a lot. Definitely my favorite. Like my favorite, like fictional race, I guess. Oop. Yeah, she's one of the cooler looking Kyrie for sure. I mean, they all look cool in their own right. I think that I like the other Kyrie the most, the one that Roguescaper painted. Again, I'm really bad with names. I promise I know. I, I I know things about this game. I promise. I'm just not good with the names of the characters yet. I did end up losing game two still. Um, and then I ended up dropping because I had to leave to go to my daughter's play. Um, but the second game was a lot closer. It came down to um, he only had one mini left. Granted, the mini that he had left was Cheros, but you know, Cheros is a beast. Underrated, I think. Like, I don't know, like, when I say underrated, I feel like everybody talks about Nilfum, or I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but Nilfum, I don't know. They either talk about him or they talk about Braxis and Mimring. I haven't heard a lot of people talking about Cheros, but Cheros wrecked face. Um, 9 health is no joke, and having Counter Strike is no joke. You know, I guess the only thing about Cheros is that he doesn't have, like, his stats are good and the Counter Strike is good, but he doesn't have any like big attacks, right? Like with Molten Claw, his attack, has the potential of doing like big damage across. Like he could be like a squad killer, you know what I mean? Which a lot of those big powerful things are squad killers. So I wish that I could play music. That's the one thing about streaming that irks me sometimes, that I can't listen to music. I mean, I am listening to music right now, but I don't know. Sometimes you want to sing and dance, and I can't. I can't do that. Although Renegade might be like, hey, that Louie guy, we need to fire him. He's been doing too much dancing and singing. Not enough. Not enough painting. Oh, that's actually a wing. No, not metal. That's all right. Um, but yeah, like now I'm starting to get into like custom units a little bit, and I've been going back and like trying to pick up like some of the more inexpensive units that can actually be used in, you know, situations based on the other, like what I currently own. So just trying to build like around what I own. Because like I bought some stuff initially based off of a recommendation from a friend, like, hey, these are units that are like the most popular and, are useful in every situation that you should, but still budget friendly, you know what I mean? Because there are some really good units that are just really expensive. Um, so I picked up a bunch of stuff, and then because of the type of person that I am, and I like having lots of options, I kind of have started looking into other units that are still relatively inexpensive. So basically, like the expensive units, I'm probably just going to print or have printed. Whereas um, basically, I've told myself any $20 is my limit. So any unit that costs more than $20, like on eBay or whatever, um, I'm trying to stay away from, unless I can trade for it. The problem with trading is that I currently don't have much to trade. I don't have anything to trade because I don't have any duplicates of anything. Um, so what I've been trading locally is like paint jobs. So, um, a couple people in my local group traded me some older units in exchange for me painting some of their AOA stuff. So I actually have uh, a small little army of AOA stuff sitting right next to me on my work table for those folks that I made those trades with. So shout out to them. I'm excited to expand my collection. And then I bought a couple more last night on eBay on the bays, the E of the bays, and yeah, it's kind of addicting, and I want to just do it more, but I don't really know a good way of, I don't know, controlling it, like figuring out, like, okay, is this a good deal? Is it not a good deal? Because the market's kind of high right now, and it's definitely because the game has had some life, you know, some an Age of Annihilation breath. I can't wait to paint the little squirrel things. Oh my gosh. They look so freaking fun to play and to paint. I apologize. This part is a little on the time consuming side because of the market's insane. Holy moly. But yeah, there's proxying seems pretty, like, people seem to be okay with that. And I definitely will proxy some of the more expensive units, or just have them 3D printed and paint them. Drewski Mac. Yeah, the market is wild. But I've been able to get some. I got some good deals initially. I did some real shopping around. Once I had a list of things that I knew that I wanted, based on recommendations from some locals. Once I knew what I wanted, I basically just shopped around for across like 3 or 4 different people, and I ended up getting. I think I got pretty good deals. I'm told I got good deals. Yeah, I don't know if I like that purple. I just wish it was a different kind of purple. Let me check my. I'm gonna check my scale 75 paints. I have so many different brands and paints. Like, I can't even put them all up on my rack. So this purple, this looks pretty similar to. Yeah, they're almost identical. Here are all the scale 75 paints that I have. If you can see that up in the top corner there. That's just scale 75 paints. And there's so many that I literally have to make a drawer. What was that color? This is called Sunset Purple. What I'm really wanting is like a brownish purple is what I need. I mean, we'll try this. 3D printed is the way to go. It's just I also want to try and I think I'm gonna try this sunset. I don't know what it is about that purple. I'm just not vibing with that color at all. Like, I definitely think that units are like printing and painting. Obviously, is the way to go. I did end up splurging. Like, I knew I wanted to splurge on like an actual like official army of some kind, so I ended up caving. And I bought Romans because honestly, Romans were like one of the cheaper like armies, I guess, to start with. I kind of wanted to start with the Massachusetts line because I live in Massachusetts. But man, those are so expensive. So I'm going to have those printed. Right now I have a buddy who's printing me green scales because I won some at one of our locals, like a printed version. So once I'm done with the green scales, I think after that it's going to be Knights of Weston, I think. Because I have Sir Gilbert. I have Sir Conkin. Is he like the Kyrie? I think he's a Kyrie soldier. I have Sir. Is it Sir Derek? I have Sir Derek also. So I have all those, like, the official units. But, like, buying the Knights of Weston, like, the official Knights of Weston, like, that's... yeah. That's an easy... Having somebody just print them for me, because I can... The Knights of Weston, right, is not that difficult. The hardest part is the shields. So I need to figure out what people do about the shields. Like, if they print... Do they print out a stencil and paint it on? Because I'm not going to freehand that many symbols on all those shields. Like, that's just not happening. Yeah, this color, way better than the other one. Like this a lot. But yeah, painting Knights of Weston would be easy. I would just put them on... I would just put them all on a stick and take them outside and spray paint them silver and then go from there. What do I use to keep the figure stuck to the pedestal? Oh, like on here? It's just like poster tack from the craft store or Walmart or wherever. You just get like poster tack or whatever. Blue or white, doesn't matter. You could also get like one of the Games Workshop ones that like just like crimp onto the miniature, which I also have those. Like these guys here, where just you put the mini there and then it grips it on the bottom. Um, they sell these, but this is literally just a pill bottle. This is just a pill bottle that I wrapped some graph tape around just so that like I have a little more grip because it's like slick plastic. And then I just tack it on there, and that's it. Yeah, some people use cork, like cork from like a wine bottle or whatever. The reason that I don't use cork personally, and this is just a personal thing, most corks are like uh, thinner, I guess, than this. This is pretty, you know, thicker, I guess, than or wider than a cork, and it's also longer. So I feel like I have a good like I'm whole. You know what I mean? Like I have the whole thing. And I like this particular kind of pill bottle because the cap is so much bigger that when I set it down, it's not going to tip over because the base is so wide. And I have two of these. I couldn't tell you where they came from. Um, and I wish that I could remember because I would love to have more. I would order whatever pill that was multiple times just to have just to have that, and it's free because I already had it. Girl math. Maybe I'll paint the straps purple. That might be cool. I mean, I don't really need more. I was mostly being facetious. Unless you really have that many. Like, I mean, I have like other pill bottles. Like this one just I like these just because they have that, like I said, that extra um yeah, I'm just going to paint all the straps this color. I really like this color. Another reason that people use the cork method, and one of the reasons that I don't use the cork method, because I don't do this thing that I'm about to tell you, is a lot of people use the cork method because they pin their miniatures to the base. And so when you pin a miniature, you're basically painting it with off of the base. And that is difficult. So in order to accomplish that, what a lot of people will do is they will drill a teeny tiny hole in the bottom of their miniature's foot or wherever, and they will glue like a paper clip or a pin or something into that hole, and then put that pin into the cork, and that's how the miniature is held in place on the cork while you paint it. And then when you're ready to put the miniature on the base, you have two options. You can either what most people do is they then drill a hole into the base, and then they can just slide that pin or whatever that they put in the foot through the hole of the base, and then glue it on the bottom, and then it's not going to come off ever. And a lot of people do that. Like, that is a very popular thing to do, what I just described. It's not uncommon. You have about 15 of them. Cool. I mean, I don't need 15 of them, but I'll take a couple for sure. Okay. Let's see. I do need a little more silver. I see some spots here. Okay. All right, let's do the face. And remember, like I said in the beginning of the video, if anybody was here at the beginning of the video, we're going to do something a little different with the face. I want this. I think we're going to go. Yeah, I think we're going to go with this rust gray for the face, or at least for that side of the face. So if you missed the beginning, what I was saying is, if you look here on the face, the miniature that I got in my box just so happened to have like factory defect there on the face. Like, half the face is like, it almost looks like it just didn't print, or it like melted off. So what I decided to do prior to the stream, and now I'm going to attempt to do it, is I want to make that side of the face look like it's been burnt. Like it's scarred or deformed or something like that. So I'm going to paint the whole face with this color, but then I'm going to do something else on the other side over it. I'm not 100% sure how it'll look. Not done this before. It's mostly just this idea that I have in my head that might not look great. So I'm going to use rust gray. This is going to be for the face. once I put this color on, it'll help me see a little better too how bad that damage is. It looks pretty bad. Like there's no, it's like the face is there, but like there's no details. You know what I mean? It's just like there's no, like her lips missing on that side. It's like the face is there, but the details are scraped off or whatever. And I could just leave it, you know, but what fun would that be? You know, what fun would that be? I need to bring the camera down a little bit, I think. There we go. So, yeah, you can see there how it's, like, you can see the face details there, and then on that side you can't. So yeah, we're gonna attempt to paint that like it's scarred. I might have to look up a picture of like, see, I don't want to have to, I don't want to Google like scarred face because I'm worried that it'll just show me gross stuff. And I'm not really down. Like if anybody's watching Arcane or has seen Arcane, it seems to be like a really big thing right now, so I'll mention it. Like Silco from Arcane, like that kind of meltedness. Let's see. Let's see, Silco. So for those who have not seen Arcane, kind of like this, that's kind of the idea that I'm going for. But I'm actually gonna make it look like a different color, more like it's burnt than scarred. And again, this may not work, and if it doesn't, then we'll just paint it back to. It's a great thing about painting is if you don't like the way it looks, just redo it. Just paint over it. It's not gonna hurt anything. I do need to get some Wraithbone. Looking great. Thanks, Gigan. Finally got her painted up myself about a week ago. It's my favorite out of that set. Yeah, it's probably my second favorite, only because I really like the I don't remember the name. The one that's like jumping up in the air with the sword overhead. It's the one the Roguescaper painted on stream like a month-ish ago. I can't remember his name, but it was I like that one a lot. But this one's pretty great too. This is Wraithbone, by the way. This is just a Wraithbone primer in a bottle. I'm just minor touch-ups because I'm going to contrast the hair. All right. Am I going to do all of it? That's the question. All right. I'm going to grab... Bugman Glow. That's what we'll try and use. This guy right here. The jumping one is the second favorite. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, for me, it's so close that it could really go either way. So we're using this, I don't know if I showed it, Bugman Glow. It's like a skin, like a dark skin tone. Not dark, but like, I don't know, like reddish. All right, let's see how this works out. I think that that's okay because I can like blend them together a little better later. Okay, I'm good with that for now. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna grab probably my favorite metallic at the moment, and that is this Pro Acryl Bronze. Really liking this color right now. Been using it a lot on a lot of minis. It's almost replaced gold for me. I'm going to use this for like accents. So like this armor plate here, like on the back side. Hindsight, I probably should have painted first. Kind of like that. I need to figure out how to stream to TikTok, y'all. Because I could totally be doing this and streaming to TikTok at the same time. I've been seeing a lot of miniature painters painting on TikTok lately. And I don't know if it's just coming up because, like, that's what I search for, and that's just, like, my For You page or whatever, but it feels like it's a significant amount more than usual lately. And I don't feel like I've, like, searched it more. Oh, yeah. That looks great. Oh, that's cool. Now I'm gonna do. I like that so much. I'm gonna do accents on the wing armor too. Like I said, this color is just. See you later, Drew. Wanted to jump on for support. Want to watch later to see how the burn face came out. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you to everybody always. You guys are great. Like this Heroscape community is just it's just blown me away. Maybe it's I mean, I hope it's like that everywhere, but certainly here in New England it's just been a breath of fresh air. I haven't ran into anybody at all that I just didn't like. Like everybody has just been genuinely awesome. And yeah, it's very cool. Very, very welcoming. I've been intimidated a bit by some players locally because they seem to know so much. Um, but at least no one I've played yet has been like to an arrogant extent. You know what I mean? The good players are good, but they're not jerks about it. I guess that's the a lot of games and a lot of communities all over. I come from from a heavy TCG background. I've played a lot of trading card games in my day, probably more than I have any other type of game. Um, and I still do. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I still love trading card games, and I own many different trading card games, and I play many different trading card games. At one point in time, I think I was playing, I mean, easily 5 or 6 TCGs, like actively purchasing and playing constantly. Um, that was mostly like late pandemic. Um, that happened when everything was still like virtual. It was just so easy to like sign up and do events and play like from the house without having to like go anywhere. I got real big into TCGs when that happened. Um, but yeah, man, the TCG community really, it just does not matter what game you play. I mean, people will tell you, "Oh, this community is better than this," or don't join that community because that's the worst game of community people. Honestly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Those you're gonna find those people that we're all talking about and thinking about anyway, no matter what game TCG you go to. It's just I mean, I know that that's probably true for like every game. I mean, I'm sure that there is some of that somewhere in this community, but certainly haven't experienced that yet. I'm all in. I'm all in right now on this game for sure. I hope that those watching will consider checking out my IG because, like I said, I am going to be actively posting more and more about Heroscape and my other nerdy dealings. But because I am a nerd first and foremost, I am a nerd, and I like nerdy things. I like nerdy things. Is that good? Do I like? Is that? Am I happy with that? I kind of want to fill these guys here with something, but I don't know what to put in there. Do I want it to be like bright glowing? I could do that. I could also just leave it as is. What do you guys think? Alright, I guess I think I'll leave it like that. Alright, I feel like these need to be some kind of metallic color. I just don't know if I should do silver or black silver, or do I have a purple silver? Amethyst is purple, right? Alexa, what color is amethyst?
Amethyst is a purple color.
Purple. Yeah. See? So we're going to try this. Amethyst alchemy. It doesn't look very purple. We might have to add some purple into it, but we'll see. I could put purple in those little holes. Do I have like a glowing purple? I have this like power node glow. That's probably too intense. I could put like a purple ink in there. Do I have a purple ink? I have every color but purple. I have red. I could just leave it too. Alright, let's try out this amethyst silver here. Although I think it's gonna clash with this now that I look at it. Let's see. to talk a lot for a second here because these little details are. I gotta. How about I pose a question to the chat and you guys talk while I do this? What is your favorite AOA character or unit, hero or unit from AOA? Which one is your favorite? I know what my favorite is. Well, I have so many. Yeah, I think I know what my favorite is. But I'm curious what everybody else's is. I'll just tell you mine now while I do this. Mine is the Knaves, I think, of the Stolen Scimitar. Honestly, I really like pirates. I think they're pretty good. Obviously, they don't have a common unit, which means that they don't have a ton of bonding, right? Well, or really any, but they're just a lot of fun to use. I've used them in a bunch of different games with pirate lists and stuff, and I think they're my favorite unit so far. The bears are great. Don't get me wrong. I love me some bears. I think the reason that the bears aren't my favorite is because I just haven't gotten to use them as much as the knaves. Because a friend of mine, Doug, shout out to Doug, every time we play, it seems like he plays bears, because he really likes them. So I let him have the bears. Yeah, I'm gonna go all the way around that. Definitely 100% not going to be done with this mini before I'm out of time. But it's a good time to once again shout out that Instagram, because when I do finish, that will most likely be the first place that I post photos. one of my favorite songs. Nah, don't like that. I like the detail there, but I don't like drawing the line on the side. We're gonna undo that. Okay. See? You do something you don't like or you mess up. I do it all the time. You just undo. Obviously, if you are, you know, competition painting and you're trying to win, like, you know, contests and crap, then yeah, I can totally see. Huh. I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like the purple or not. I kind of do. Should I go like this and let me grab this one, which I don't remember what color this one was. Oh, the Pro Acryl. Let's see, what if I do this? No, I don't like that either, to be honest. I mean, it's okay. I'm just gonna go back to just the straight color. it's cool. I'm good with that. We could do something with the hair before we call it done. When I say done, I mean this is tabletop ready for sure. Yeah, I need to think on these joints here. They just scream to me that they want to be painted. I'm just struggling to figure out like what should I paint them with. Should I stick with the purple or should I just leave it? I'm just gonna leave it for now. Let's just do the hair real quick. I'm gonna contrast Apothecary White. Apothecary White has a nice blue tint to it, so I think it's gonna work well with the. I think it's gonna work well with the face. We'll obviously have to work on the scar and stuff. You know, later. If you can hear that noise, by the way, that is the sound of my paint mixer. So, nothing else going on there. Yep, so this is Apothecary White contrast paint. And then I have to decide what I want to do with the base. I'm missing something. I found that Steel Legion drab mixed with XV88 is the closest brown color that I can find to matching original scape bases. If anybody has a better recipe than that. But I've been kind of doing like mostly Steel Legion drab with and of course, if you know me, it's going to get a fancy base at some point anyway. So this is just a temporary band-aid. Not even a band-aid, a temporary, like, a placeholder. There we go. We'll call it a placeholder. Oh, my face is itchy. It's been so cold here that, like, my skin is just so dry. All right, well, I think that we are going to call her done. Obviously, much more that I can do. My next step will be to, yeah, we'll talk about next steps now. So this is, tabletop ready, obviously, done, good to go, don't need to do anything else to it. That's not how I roll. So next steps would be I'm going to put a black wash on probably over all of it. Maybe not the face or the hair. But I think I'm going to put... Man, I want to put purple on the purple, though. It's fine. I'll do black, probably. The wings... I don't know. The wings are looking a little sad. I'm going to have to do something about that. I'm just not too sure what yet. But yeah, she's ready for the table. After I do the wash and I highlight everything up, I do something with the scar on the face. I'll do something cool with the base, and it'll be done. So you'll definitely want to make sure that you go to my Instagram at @TheRealDaddyLouie. Make sure that you check that out. That is where you will see all of these photos first. Like I said, I'm also working on some original scape stuff. So, like this guy here is a rebase. I got him from Drew, actually, in a trade. So, but it didn't have the base. So I've rebased it. This is not done. This is going to be a lava base. I'm still working on it. And then Brunak here, he also didn't come with any base, so I'm working on a base for him. And then I've also got some other things. I'm making a proxy for a custom. I'm also doing I'm going to be working on a repaint of Q10 to go with my repaint of Q9. And then I've got like 6 commissions over there and like 10 commissions over here. So lots and lots of Heroscape still in my future, which is okay with me. Like I said, I am all in, guys. I'm all in. Make sure that you, if you have not pre-ordered any of the upcoming waves for AOA, make sure you go check out Renegade's website. All of that stuff is available for pre-order already, which is awesome. Also, we are up to, I think, 4 maps or 4 scenarios, free scenarios from Renegade. You can find those all over on their website as well. And like I said, you can find me there at The Real Daddy Louie on Instagram. And is that it? I think that's it. Thank you to everybody that tuned in the chat. Thank you to everybody who watches in the future. If you are watching this in the future, thank you for watching. And yeah, I think that will be it for me for 2024. I'll see you guys in 2025. I can't wait for more Heroscape. And yeah, thank you to Renegade as always for letting me do this and hang out with you guys. And remember that you need to take care of yourself, take care of each other, play your games, paint your miniatures, and I'll see you guys next year. Bye.